Hey everybody, I just want to let you know we're doing a roast today, and I can't live without the VooDoo Chef. This is dirt, magic, zing, all different kinds. For seafood, poultry, whatever you need, he's got you. VooDooChef.com. Can't live without this stuff.
Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, it's time for the VooDoo Chef podcast, where we will discuss all things voodoo from the VooDoo Studios located right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So to all my booties out there, if you're looking for nothing but a good time, this is the place to be. Call your friends, knock on the neighbor's door, and let them know it's time to party like a rock star for the next hour. Join me and my guests and learn to voodoo like we do as we discuss our faves and the voodoo that we use. I'll put our guests on the spot as we ask for their top 3, and make sure and listen as we discuss some of our favorite war stories from the kitchens we've worked in. Sit back, grab a tall glass of your favorite libation, and enjoy this episode of the VooDoo Chef podcast. What is going on, Voodies? What is going on with this screen? How is everybody doing tonight? It's a great day here in Tampa, Florida. Thanks for checking in. Before we get started here, let's just make sure we say, wherever you're checking in from, hit it in that chat bar. Let us know where you're checking in from. Most importantly, what you're drinking. It's a wonderful Tuesday night, and don't forget to hit that share button. Hit that share button. Get everybody checking us out. We got a lot of good things happening. Before I bring in the fellas, though, I got a little package in the mail, and I think I know what it is. But I wanted to open this up because I requested some new samples, and I think this might be one of my samples. Let's check this out here. And I was a hundo right here, guys. You like how I just described that, right? Look at this bad boy right here. It's the left-handed coffee mug. So if you're left-handed, it's got a barcode in there too. That's got to go like real quick. I should have faked it and done that part in advance, huh? All right, check this out. It's a left-handed coffee mug for all you left-handed drinkers out there. You can sit there, put your coffee in there, and pimp the VooDoo Chef. But for all you right-handed drinkers out there, what? Look at that right there. This thing can hold all 5 food groups. All 5. Depending on time of day. You do you, whatever you want to put in here. And I may or may have not have known this was coming. So we're just going to go ahead and get some of that time-release water in there. And tonight we're going to go with a little bit of my new favorite, the VooDoo Chef Party Like a Rock Star brand here. This is the triple mash. Barreled and bond, Jack Daniels. This stuff is solid stuff. And I'm going to let you know another secret, not that I would ever condone this, because, we are – make sure that we promote, drink safely, drink responsibly. Don't listen to any my hyperbole here. But, if you're sitting at work and you happen to be sitting there with your coffee cup and, man, again, all hyperbole. Drink smart, drink responsibly, but drink Jack Daniels. Guys, good stuff going on again. Hit that share button. We got my boy Bearded Monkey. I just keep calling him Twisted. That's my boy Twisted. Twisted is checking in, and he's got some big comps coming up and he's going to be on the podcast in November. So make sure you look for that. He's checking in, drinking some Arnold Palmers. Guys, let me tell you where you're going to be able to find us real quick. Don't forget to hit that share button. Share this with everybody. Get them checking in here. We got a big show tonight. We got Adrienne Gang coming in from I always fuck up the name of the shows, but it's what I do. Below Deck. She's just certified badass, and she's a chef. She's a philanthropist. She's giving back. She's doing everything. She's going to be on here telling her story. But we got to let everybody know where we're going to be. First and foremost, October 22nd. If you haven't gotten your tickets, guys, I hate to tell you, it's a little too late. Pig Jig is officially sold out. But if you are going to be at Pig Jig, make sure you come over to the judges' tent, and the entire VooDoo team is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Big Eddie C is going to be there. Patrick's going to be there. Man, Spider, you name it. The entire VooDoo team is going to be sitting there hanging out, having a good time, judging the barbecue, because that's what we do. And it's all for a great cause to help raise money to hopefully finally find a cure for that kidney disease, NEF cure out there, is the group we're raising money for. November 5th, we're at the Eagles Golf Club, raising money for the VooDoo Chef Foundation. Come out, play the game you love to hate. Word on the street is basically we just get together and drink, and sometimes a golf match breaks out. But it's a great day. November 11th, I will be in Orlando hanging out with our man Billy Floyd on the Kitchen Killers podcast, 905 Live every Friday. Make sure you check them out. And don't forget the VooDoo Chef podcast. If you're listening to this on any one of your podcast platforms, we stream live every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring the bell. It'll notify you every time we go live. Set your reminders. As a matter of fact, let me set mine right now. Hey, Alexa, set a reminder for me to watch the VooDoo Chef podcast this Tuesday at 8 p.m. on the VooDoo Chef YouTube channel. Guys, make sure you set your reminders. And again, if you're listening to this on wherever you download your podcasts, if you want to see what you're missing out with the videos and all that other fun stuff, make sure you tune in live every Tuesday night right here. And for amazing guests like tonight, Adrienne Gang. She's going to come on in a couple seconds. But before we get her in here, we got to bring in the family. Let's bring them in. Start with the old swap-a-rooney. And Patrick, what is going on, my friend? How you doing tonight?
I am doing great. Got a little beverage over here, so night's about to.
What kind of beverage you drinking tonight?
I don't know. A little friend of mine suggested maybe I might want to try out an old friend that I haven't had in a little while here. So I.
Oh man, looks like a little friend of yours gave you a big ass bottle. You need one of these fancy cups that if you log on to VooDooChefMerch.com, you can pick up a coffee mug just like mine, butter, bacon, caffeine, carbs, and bourbon.
Might have to do that. It might look good on my desk at work.
No, not at work, because
Well, with the caffeine, with the coffee. I mean,
coffee, butter.
Caffeine.
You can put a bacon bouquet in this if you wanted to. You can fill this with Doritos.
Uh-huh.
I might need another cup. And Chef put in the little chat bar there. That's right. Make sure you reserve your foursome right now for the VooDoo Chef Charity Golf Tournament, because we are presented by First Watch. We got to throw mad love to Tito's for sponsoring the Hit It to Win It putting green. Sam Creighton from Big Green Eggheads, Tampa Bay for ready for this? You can win a large green egg. You don't have to be present to win. Log on to our Facebook page. It'll send you over to the golf page where you can make a $25 donation. Maybe it's $20. I don't know. Your name goes in the drawing, and we pick a winner to win that green egg. You just show up and pick it up. That easy. Well, you gotta donate, but it's all for a good cause. It's for the children.
Absolutely.
It's for the children.
There for that.
We got some great podcasts coming up. Tonight's amazing. If you just go back this week, we had Shay this week. You go back the past couple podcasts. We had Shay coming in and doing sweets with us. We know I love my macarons, and she's going to be here the first of every month. Billy Floyd from Kitchen Killers doing cocktails with us the second Tuesday of every month. Chef, I don't know if I told you, we got some big surprises coming up for the 3rd and 4th weeks of the month for the podcast, but you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. We got to build it forward. We can't just jump in. We got to build it forward, but we got some good stuff. And then, take away our reggae segs. And for all of you non-food service people, no, we're not talking about our music segs. Reggae, our regular segments. We had some amazing guests. We were scheduled to have Freddie on, but it actually worked out because Billy Floyd of the Kitchen Killers stayed on all night and hooked us up. We had Wicked on all the way from New York not too long ago. And tonight we got Adrienne coming in. And then coming up, I don't know if you saw the opening, Chad Saliga, former drummer of Breaking Benjamins, the former drummer of Black Label Society with Zach Wild. He's playing all over right now. He was in Key West during the hurricane playing. I mean, badass, right?
It's nice.
And I got to give him a shout out. His whole drive down to Key West, he's calling me, hey, are you guys all right? I know it's hitting your side of the state because he's going down 95. And the whole way down, it's like every 4 or 5 hours, hey, you guys good? Much love, Chad. I appreciate that. And we can't wait. I think it's next week he's on. We got Twisted coming on from the Bearded Monkey. Bearded Monkey's Twisted Q. Man, I booked somebody else today, but I can't remember who it was. It's going to be badass, so I'll tell you that.
There we go. That's exciting.
It's super duper exciting. And then, I actually, my favorite is the end of the podcast because I'm now participating in the trivia, and you have picked that up. And you know what? That might be payback for you suckering me in to some stupid ass fucking fantasy football league where I'm 0-5.
That's all right. I mean, so I'll tell you what, I'm in 2 different leagues. In our league, I'm doing pretty well. But then in my other league, I am 0-6 now, or whatever it is.
Oh, I'm 0-6.
I don't.
I am.
So I don't know.
I didn't even know.
Yep.
We got Sean checking in. What's going on? I believe, Sean, I think you're coming to hang out at Pig Jig with us this week. You know what? Adrienne couldn't make it. We'll give you her spot. We'll get to that when we get her in the room here. Before I forget, let's give a big shout out to all our sponsors. Of course, Euro Baked Breads. You're going to see a little bit about them in a minute, and I hope it gets your brain spinning. Of course, 813 Tequila. One of my favorite tequilas. We got Flame Boss, the only person that I let be the boss of me, especially when I'm out on that BGE. We got Shay Sweets. People actually call her my dealer. And she's my macaron dealer. I would definitely meet her at a dumpster behind 7-Eleven to pick up some of the macarons. We just got to make sure we get Fruity Pebbles, Oreo, and peanut butter and jelly back in the mix fast. We got Preston checking in. He says he is super, super excited for Pig Jig. Still going to hook up the magic. Okay. I need more info than that, Preston. Dude, if I told you I'd bring you magic, you might want to tell Patrick tonight so that I remember that day. I'm real proud of this next one. Tito's, we've added that to our little band there, and super, super stoked. Tito's is now a proud partner of the VooDoo Chef, the VooDoo Chef Foundation. And it's been a long time coming. They've always supported us, but now they are. They told me they're happy to be a proud partner of ours officially, and that's super, super duper. And as always, Rhineland Knives. Get your VooDoo blade. I know our knife site is down. We're working on that, getting that back up and running. But if you're looking for your sauces and seasonings, VooDooChef.com will take you directly to Our website, if you click on sauces and seasonings, it'll take you over to where you can purchase all the sauces and seasonings. If you're getting a bad read, or it's not popping up, or it's saying we're sold out, I assure you we're not sold out. I get texts every day. Hey, you're out of dirt. Hey, you're out of dirt. Absolutely not. We're not out of dirt. Clear the cache in your memory. If I pronounce that right, or cache. You do you. Well, tell me, Patrick.
No, you had it right. Yep, it's cash.
Which cache? Clear that out, because if you type in VooDoo Chef and you haven't cleared that out, it's going to take you back to our old page. It is updated. It's going to take you to a new site, and we got everything you need. So make sure you get that rocking and rolling. And don't forget, VooDooChefMerch.com. You can get your butter, bacon, caffeine, carbs, and bourbon coffee mug if you're right-handed. I can't spill this. If you're left-handed. And then, of course, we've got hoodies. We've got the butter, bacon, caffeine, carb, and bourbon T-shirts that everybody's asking me for. We have our original logo T-shirts. Coming soon, we're going to have our Rockstar T-shirts. It's all going up on that site. Order it. They'll mail it to you direct. It's a great way to show your love. And Patrick, speaking about showing love, I don't know if you noticed, my friend, I have a wonderful, wonderful shirt that Chef brought me. This is the ACF Hillsborough chapter's official shirt. And, I absolutely love it, man. Yes, Chef. And thank you so much. And thanks to everybody in the Hillsborough chapter, ACF. This is super cool. Nothing but love. Nothing but love.
Absolutely.
All right.
Great.
Wait, hey, can people buy these?
They can. If you would just send me a message on Facebook, we can figure out how to get it to you and all that. I know we sell them at all of our meetings. We're about to place another order very soon. So just like I said, send me a message or put something in the comments. I can send you an email, or we can figure something out. 100%.
Too easy. I might steal it. What do you think?
I mean, why not? Just don't say the word one back.
Answer, Chef. Yes, Chef. All right, dude, this is hysterical. We've got the podcast going. We've talked about some challenges with the comment bar, so I've got a phone going, watching the podcast. And I fucking love my glasses about as much as I love fucking
365.
I'm getting all kinds of texts. Are you at the Lightning game? Bubba, no, I'm not at the Lightning game. But I wish I was, because I know you're texting me telling me to come over and get some barbecue. Because, guys, if you're at the Lightning game and you're in your seats watching this right now, find Wicked Oak. I think they're on every floor. Go get some fucking barbecue. The best barbecue in Tampa Bay. Don't start throwing me shade. It's not a competition. We all know I eat at Jazzy's, I eat at Wicked, I eat at Big John's. They're all the best barbecue in Tampa Bay. It just depends on what part of town I'm in at that time. And then I've got Dane checking in. Dane, why aren't you watching the podcast tonight? You're sending me messages. I sent out the judge's email for Pig Jig. And so, what do I got to wear? What should I do? Just fucking show up and have a cocktail and eat some barbecue, right? We've got Dahlia checking in from Town and Country. She's having a gin and tonic. I hope that is some of that Dark Door gin, because, oh my God, that is some amazing gin. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you run over there. The lavender notes are insane. And when you hold it up, they do not filter it. So all of your essential oils are just sitting in that gin, and it is absolutely fab. It's an amazing product. Cindy Waziski checking in all the way. I don't know, either New York or Pennsylvania, because, we move all the time. Much love, Cindy. My cousin checking in. New York, Pennsylvania. Erie, Pennsylvania? Not Buffalo, New York. That would be your sister. I don't know if you moved, but nothing but much love for checking in. Man, we got a lot of people checking in tonight. I think it might be our guest bringing in the masses. And I'm worked up tonight, dude.
What else is new?
I don't know. I'm winding down. I'm winding down. You know what night it is tonight, don't you?
Celebrate the Yankees winning.
I don't know anything about. I know less about baseball than I do about fantasy football.
Wow, that's okay. So you know it's a sport. Okay.
I know it's a sport. I have a sport that takes place either every Monday or every Tuesday myself, and I can't wait. Cindy is in Buffalo with my other cousin Kathy. Thank you guys for checking in, and nothing but much love. I've been thinking about you quite a bit for a hot minute. I hope you're doing well, and everything's going amazing. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark, and of course, if the door opens and the disco lights go off, I might be wrong, but tonight might be a little crumble tasting night.
Nice.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you haven't had crumble cookie, I'm just going to tell you, you don't know what you're missing. Don't go. Don't go. Because then you'll be like us, and every Monday night you'll be like, all right, which one's your favorite? And the answer is simply yes.
Right. All of them. Yes, chef.
That's right. Damn straight. All right. So, hey, let's start pushing forward. I'm going to drop some hints here. You know the VooDoo Chef Foundation, all of our mission. It's all about supporting the community through food and education. And that's pretty much our lives. You know, as educators, that's what we do. But, you know, we take it beyond that by going out in the community and doing things like Pig Jig, going out in the community and maybe feeding those in need, doing guest speaks at schools, talking to people about the necessity of going and continuing their education, about working hard, playing hard, being humble. You know, it's what we got to do. But, you know, we're going to take it to the next level here in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be doing a lot more give back. And we're going to try to bring that to you and show you what we did in that give back the third and possibly fourth Friday of every month in those opening segments of the podcast. And, you know, we say voodoo like we do. And, you know, yeah, that means grab your voodoo seasonings. It means voodooify your food. You know, use those seasonings to help you speed up the process. But I think if we really dig down, what I think it really means is get out there in your community, wherever that may be, and just make a difference. You know, voodoo like we do. Make sure that give back is part of your life. Make sure you're out there. You know, we call it reaching down as much as you're reaching up. You know, we all like to reach up and learn from people and have people help us. Reach down as much as you're reaching up and try to help those below you and bring those people along with you. Very, very important. And, you know, when we were thinking about tonight and what we could show you and what kind of video we could do and what kind of voodoo like we do video we were going to put out there, I thought, what better than our girl Kayla Bustamante doing a little cooking. So we're going to show you a quick video of Kayla making a little barbecue sandwich. And when I say little, it's about as little as that bottle Patrick lifted up a minute ago. And just so you know, all the recipes that you're going to see that Kayla did, you can get through us and not too hard. We'd be happy to share those. But more importantly, Kayla is 12 weeks into culinary school. And she's absolutely fucking killing it. So before we get to Miss Adrienne Gang from shit, I'm just gonna say from culinary fucking stardom. Let's take a quick look at our girl Kayla, voodooing like we do. Here we go. Maybe. I've already screwed this up during practice. Let's see. Maybe.
Our barbecue pork
All right,
sandwich.
here we go. Watch this. Kayla Bustamante.
Today we're making our barbecue pork sandwich, but instead of using our house buns, we're using the Euro baked VooDoo buns. We're gonna toast it with some garlic butter. Okay, so while that's toasting, once it's done toasting, we're gonna put our magic cooled pork, which we smoke overnight, and then we're gonna top it off with our BRE, which is BRE coleslaw, which is the best ranch ever coleslaw, and then we're drenching it in our smokehouse barbecue sauce, and then topping it off with our house-made pickles. Now that it's toasted, now we're gonna top it off with our smoked pulled pork. Usually do about 4 ounces, but today we're gonna make it big. Go big and go, either go big or go home. And then we're gonna put our barbecue sauce. And now we're gonna put our BRE coleslaw. And now our quickles. I don't know about you, but I really like these pickles. And now top bun. And there is the barbecue pork sandwich.
Oh my. Chef, I gotta tell you, I really don't know what to say because, I sit on my back patio and I like the green egg and I'm out there for what is it, 4 to 6 hours, and then the shit hits the stall. Got to go wrap it, push it through the stall, and then we all know how much I like hanging outside. and then all of a sudden, I got to go out. I got to take it off. I mean, doing a butt's a lot of work, and she's like, we smoke this all night. It doesn't matter if you have machines or not. There's still technology. There's technology out there, but there's so much human that has to go into that. And when I was looking at this pork, perfectly pulled, and of course, the magic didn't hurt. I'm not going to say. Just amazing, amazing stuff. No stall, hot and fast. That's right, Twisted. Push it right through. Twisted, put your temps and times up there. I'd love to see.
All right, that's what I'm wondering now.
Amy Rutledge. We won't even call her Creighton because if her and Sam get in the room playing trivia together, which they were invited to do tonight, don't know if they're coming. I heard crickets when I asked because I also told them I'm undefeated since I started playing. And Chef Adrienne, if you beat me tonight, don't be surprised if you get its deletes off the web somehow. But Amy's saying she didn't get the invite. Hey, we can't wait anymore because I've got 350 degrees for about 3.5 hours. Twisted, I'm going to do that next time I roll. Yep. Next time I roll, I'm gonna fly that out. Of course, I'll probably have to call Patrick and go, hey, what the fuck did he say the time for?
That's actually a true statement, yeah.
Adrienne, I see you in the green room, and I see all the shit back there. We need to take a 2 minute sidebar here because we have been missing my boy, Big Eddie C.
There he is.
C, what is going on?
Hey, what in the French fried fuck is happening? I'm trying to talk and drive at the same time. So if I say something really stupid, just say Autistic Ed's in the house.
Well, dude, it is Tuesday. It is the podcast. That's what we all do.
Yeah, but I'm not even drinking yet unless you count water.
Dude, Sean Fleener's like every week on the fucking text going, hey, where's Ed tonight? Dude, is there something you need to tell me? 3 weeks in a row. Hey, where's Big Eddie C?
Oh,
Where's
man.
Ed? Sean, me and you, I mean, I thought we were tight and all, and then you're throwing that out there.
I don't know how I became the one-man cult of personality, but I didn't ask for that shit.
Oh, I might have to start calling you CM Punk there, buddy.
Ah,
Even though he got fired, did I say it? He
oh, did
yeah,
he? Oh,
he did.
I got to tell you, the guy was on Mayans this past season, and he had a couple appearances. He was really pretty fucking good, I got to tell you.
Dude, I love the guy, but you know, it's like we'd say all the time, Big Eddie. See, you and I have been teaching together longer than anyone else. You know, you're great until you believe your own hype. And I think that's what he did. He started to believe his own hype in AEW, you know? Not that I watch wrestling.
No, of course not.
Big Eddie C, you know what else I watch?
What would that be?
I watch a lot of reality TV.
You sure do.
One show that I never watched until I got a phone call from this lovely lady. Was I always fuck it up. I always want to say Down Below, but it's Below Deck. Right, Patrick?
That's correct. It's Below Deck. Yep.
You know, I never watched that show. But I got a call from Chef Adrienne, and she says, "Hey, I'm looking for somebody to, I don't know, eat something." And I can eat. I think it was chili. And I can eat chili. And you know, I was a referred friend of a friend of a friend, and I'm like, you know, I'm just cool that you can invite me to eat anytime. We don't have to judge. We can just eat chili. But you know, timing didn't work out. But I feel like we've got a new relationship, a new contact, and somebody that, man, every time we talk, it's just exciting and badass. And I said, "Hey, why don't you come on and talk about talk on the podcast?" And it had nothing to do with Below Deck, because she does so many things. And then I went and watched season 1 of Below Deck, and I'm like, all we're gonna fucking talk about is goddamn Below Deck, because I'm a reality junkie.
That you are.
And she's laughing her ass off in the green room. Let's waste no more time. Big Eddie C, you be careful. We're gonna bring in Adrienne. Were you wiping? It was a laugh that funny. Adrienne, what is going on?
Hi.
Man, I gotta tell you. So, you know, you and I talked, and I'm like, my friend who introduced us said she's a chef. She's doing a chili cook-off. And I'm like, I like to eat. And so I gave you a shout, or we text or something, probably text, because I fucking hate talking on the phone. But then all of a sudden we were talking by voice, and man, you were just everywhere. And I started getting excited, and you told me you were from Below Deck. And I'm like, what's that? And then we just started talking, and I watched the whole damn season in one day, because that's what I do. I got tons of stuff to talk about.
Awesome.
But I want to go backwards, because what you're doing now is like more just super amazing and in line and in tune with everything VooDoo Chef Foundation is about. You called me or texted me the other day, and you're like, "Hey, I'm on my way back to Fort Myers or Naples or south of us." And you're driving down, and you said, "We're cooking 20,000 hot meals a day." And you're doing this, for those of you who don't know, for the hurricane and everybody that was affected. And of course, all of the service people who are down there trying to reestablish life down there. And you're doing it through World Kitchen. I said a lot right there. Pick whichever part you want and start educating us on that, however you want, because I think this is amazing. And we'll work backwards to where you got started. Because that's the bullshit. This is the real deal. You're a rock star. We'll start there, and then we'll go back to last week and move backwards.
Copy that.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is a lot of fun already, and we've barely even started. First of all, just to let you know, I'm in for Pig Jig. It's happening. I'm excited.
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
yeah.
my God. Sean, you're fired. Sean, I feel like I'm on Romper Room. Most of you probably don't know what that is. I see Sean. Sean, I'm kidding. You're not fired. Show up. You will be Adrienne's personal friend that day. Just kidding. We got lots of stuff to do, Sean. I was kidding.
He can hold the bucket because this is going to be like a Greek vomitorium, isn't it? Because we're eating for like 17 hours.
No. I can tell you right
Somebody
now,
needs to hold the bucket.
one bite. I don't know if you know what you signed up for. You're going to get a new plate of food. Laugh out loud. Big Eddie C was a great teacher, but now that I get invited to come hang out with Pig Jig, Ed might be second. Big Eddie C. Just so you know, Big Eddie C's at Pig Jig too. It's a team effort. We're all there, and you can hang out with Big Eddie C. It's okay. I'm not a jealous kind of guy. So it's a one bite event. You're gonna get you get 6 plates of food every hour. A new plate of food every 10 minutes.
Cool.
Cool. Your name
You have
Mickey
no
Sudo.
idea what you signed up for.
So I
Exactly.
shouldn't plan on being in a bikini anytime soon after this. Got it.
I don't think I've ever planned to be in a bikini, just so you know.
Thank God for that.
All right, so tell
Sweatpants
us
for 6
about
weeks.
feeding. So the hurricane came through. You've been
Okay.
down there. I bet it looks like a war zone. Am I right?
You know, from when I was younger, I remember pictures of Hurricane Andrew, and it was right as we were moving to Florida. Like my whole family was moving to Florida. I was pretty young, like 8th grade. And those pictures were just seared in my mind. And I feel like when I came down here, that's what I see. It's crazier than I thought. And I think being here in person, so the way that this all happened is that I put it out on Facebook a couple of days before the hurricane hit, or a day before, when we knew it wasn't going to track to Tampa, when we knew it was going to head south and hook right. I said, if anybody needs to get out of Dodge, I have a guest room, just come up. I don't care who you are. We've got a place for you. And I also said, if anybody knows of a kitchen that needs hands, have knives, will travel. Happy to do it. So I got connected with World Central Kitchen doing that. And I volunteered with them for a day up in Tampa. They were using the Metropolitan Ministries kitchen right in downtown Tampa because they had not yet set up a kitchen down here. They were basically scouting for a place that we could use that was safe. And that took a little while. So for the first 4 days that I was with them, there was no trucks or vehicles that could come down through the highway because there was so much debris and flooding. So we were making 12,000 meals a day in Tampa and putting them on helicopters and flying them to Sanibel and Pine Island and Fort Myers Beach. Like I had never seen anything like it. And after day 1, I was more than impressed. So I just kept going back. And now they won't let me leave and I won't leave. So it's an unbelievable organization. Currently, we are in the Minnesota Twins spring training facility in Fort Myers. So they have graciously allowed us to come in here and use their facility we have dorm rooms upstairs where the players stay during spring training. And so we're staying there and then we're working out of the kitchen here. And it's unbelievable. The people that I've met with this organization are just unreal. I've worked in a lot of kitchens and I've worked with a lot of chefs, and I know a lot of people that bitch and moan and complain about what they're doing. We are working in adverse conditions with little to no resources other than what we bring with us, kind of like Burning Man. And everybody's just crushing it. Like nobody's complaining. Nobody's sad that they're here. We're all tired. We're all exhausted at the end of the day from what we're doing, but no one is not happy to be here. And it's insane.
There's a great article out there by I don't know the fucker's guy's name. We'll leave the light on for you guy. Anybody know his name? Motel 6.
Tom Bodette.
Tom Bodette. He wrote a great article called Working Slobs, and he talks about he talks about it through the eyes of construction. There's nothing more gratifying than when a group of people get together and they pull together and get a job done. And when I read that article, I couldn't help but think about the kitchens I worked in, and pulling off a Thanksgiving for 2,000 people, doing a buffet all day, or Mother's Day for 2,400. You guys are doing 20,000 meals for people in need, and I can talk about all those running the buffet and doing those things back in the day. But some of the more gratifying times are when we would go into churches and feed the homeless through the VooDoo Chef Foundation. So, to talk about getting your team together and going out and doing that and pulling together and having that sense of accomplishment, that has just got to be such an amazing feeling of the team, and then more importantly, the why.
Well, I think that's the difference, right? Is like having a common person. There's no egos here. It's nothing like that.
Time out. Bullshit. All chefs have egos, but you're putting them aside for this period.
You're checking them at the door when you get here. Because everybody's here for the same reason, right? We all know that we're here to feed people, and we're not making gourmet dishes. We're making food that we know will sustain people with a high enough caloric intake to give them what they need if this is their only meal of the day. And when I first got down here to Fort Myers, which was 5 or 6 days after I started with them, they immediately sent me out onto one of the distribution sites. And I think having that experience was critical because prior to that, everything was going on a helicopter. So I wasn't seeing people taking it into their hands who hadn't showered in days, who hadn't eaten a hot meal in days, and being able to witness that myself. Like, one of the most touching moments for me that day was this little girl. She was probably like 5 or 6, who had clearly not showered. Her whole family was there. We're in a Walmart parking lot in Port Charlotte, and she's dancing around out of sheer joy and excitement because she has a meatball in her mouth and she couldn't be happier. Like, that was the best thing that had ever happened to her. And it was very cool. It's really hard not to be excited when you come to work every day when you're doing that.
It makes you more grateful for what you have yourself, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. And we're, lucky enough to be staying in one of the facilities that wasn't severely damaged by the hurricane, because it's far enough away from the water that it didn't get any real severe damage. But, we're sleeping in air conditioning every night, and we're able to get up with alarm clocks because we have power to charge our phones. Like, it's little things that really make you take into account what's going on with you. I had to leave for a couple of days because I had to go up to New York City Food and Wine Festival to do an event up there this past weekend. And I mean to tell you, like, the moment that I left here, I felt guilty because I knew that my time would be better served here. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had committed to do that event last year when I was there, I would have stayed. Because as much as I love going to New York City Food and Wine, and shout out to Trace and Sorghum and Salt from Charleston, because I love you guys. Being here really makes a difference. And I know that every single day. And that's why I'm an insane person and clearly an emotional sadomasochist. And I left
at
7 o'clock on Sunday morning and drove my happy little ass back down here so that I could be back in the kitchen tomorrow morning.
So let's talk about New York. You're doing amazing things down there. And, if there's any way that people can help, if you let me know, we'll put it out on our Facebook pages and stuff like that, because we got Dane over in Orlando asking. And Dane, you're going to see Adrienne on Saturday. You guys can connect and talk about that.
It's World Central Kitchen, and you can donate directly to what we're doing here in Fort Myers. You can choose Poland because there's still people cooking for the Ukrainian refugees there. You can choose Puerto Rico because there's still a team that's doing Fiona relief there. But there is a way to donate directly to what we're doing here in Fort Myers.
So amazing stuff. Absolutely. And I would bet Patrick's doing one of two things, either watching the baseball game or looking up how to donate. And he's going to put it in that bar.
Second thing.
Because that's what and me, I just sit here and do stupid stuff like check out my cup.
I'm with you.
Well, then let's say here's to World Central and everything you guys are doing.
Thank you. It's an amazing organization. Can't say enough amazing things about it. I, as a general rule, don't endorse charities, but I am in the kitchen every single day seeing where this money's going.
World Central and what other charity, maybe?
And everything you guys are doing. I'll be with you at Big Jig on Saturday.
Of course. You know, I'm with you. It's hard to get behind charities, and Sean says hats off to you. But that's also the same guy that said, of course, Carmack would know Tom Bodette. And just another observation. Carmack, you look creepy as fuck with the car light on. Just gonna say.
All right, well.
No, leave it on. Leave it on. We can see you.
I think there's a horror movie that starts that way.
It is Halloween. And
It's a found footage movie.
So Adrienne, since we're on Carmack for a second, can we lock you in for the Big Eddie C, VooDoo Chef's Big Eddie C Drunken Spelling Bee in March?
I mean, do I get to cuss like a pirate? Because then I'm in.
Absolutely, and you get to drink the whole time because that's the. Oh no, you don't have to drink. Ed drinks, and we got Derek Wally checking in. Derek from Wicked Oak. We were just talking about Wicked Oak and making sure that you stop at every Wicked Oak on the plaza over at the arena tonight. Derek, what's going on? And I do have to ask, what the hell picture is that you have up of yourself? Because that's not you. All right. While Derek responds to that, Adrienne, you talked about World Kitchen. You talked about having to go to New York. So last week, I think it was, you were in New York. Was it last week?
Yeah, it was this past weekend. Yeah.
You were at New York Food and Wine, and I saw some pictures of you up there. Tell us what the hell that's about. How do you get involved? What you were cooking, who you were cooking with, what you were cooking for. Because I got to be honest, I'm mad jelly.
It's a random happenstance. So I do a lot of freelancing. As you know, I work on yachts. A lot of people don't know that in real life, I'm a yacht chef, not a chief stew, which is why Below Deck was my first time being a chief stew. Clearly it's not rocket science, but yeah, in real life, I'm a chef. And so I used to do tour catering. I used to travel with bands on the road and cook for them. And I did that for a long time. Kiss, Aerosmith, Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Wow.
Time out. Did you say that on purpose?
Say what part on purpose?
Look right there.
Awesome.
Did you say that on purpose? Because I'm a little mad right now.
No.
I'm a little pissed. We'll talk on Saturday.
Wait, is this you're gonna talk to me like in a dark alley with a fist in my mouth, or like?
No, I need to know what the hell. I need some Kiss dirt.
Oh, everybody's incredible. I have nothing bad to say about Kiss. There's other bands I have things to say about, but they are not one of them.
They're like my all-time fave. But all right, so you're a chef by trade. Let's stop there because this is how much I know because I know you from the show and I know you from a phone call. Are you trained? Did you go to culinary school?
You're gonna die.
No, I'm not because I remember.
I went to HCC.
You went to Hillsborough Community College and you studied under Chef George Pastor.
Oh, wow.
Correct. Yes.
That is absolutely amazing. He was an amazing, amazing man.
He was. And he was the one who put me in touch with the people at the Ford Amphitheater when it first opened. And that was how I got my first job touring. The people that owned that catering contract I worked for, I did 72 shows. I did all the backstage catering. And then when I was finished with that semester of culinary school, they picked me up and took me out on the road. And I was Kenny Chesney's chef for 6 months on the road.
How cool is that?
Wow.
Yeah. And interestingly, I mean, you guys know that like half of your culinary degree is on the job training. And I was working at family run health food stores in Tampa. And that was 20 plus years ago. I'm not going to date myself too much, but it was a long time ago. That was before Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or anything. And everybody thought I was completely insane for working in health food establishments. And it turns out I hedged my bets properly, and now I hire them.
Wow.
Oh,
Bravo.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And before we push too far, Patrick did put up how to get in touch with World Kitchen, how to donate, and how to do all that stuff.
Thank you.
So you went to Hillsborough Community College and you studied culinary there under George.
Because I wasted all my real college money on a philosophy degree.
I wasted all my real college money on an apartment on USF campus and went to work over at the Castaway on Courtney Campbell Causeway. Never stepped a foot in campus. And if you're watching this, Dad,
Oopsie.
Yeah. Whoops.
it is what it is. We make our decisions, we live by them, we go by them, and we become who we are. One of my favorite sayings is, we never change. We just grow closer to the people we were always meant to be. And that's just the reality of life, no matter who you are. So you went to culinary school, 4 out of 5.
I didn't even finish the program.
Another whoop.
Hey, guess what? I didn't finish the program at USF, UCF, HBC, or any of those schools. And
I kind of just hit the ground running. Apparently, in the touring world, there was a giant need for health food chefs, and I was one of the only people that was doing it. So they picked me up and I ran.
Well, that's amazing that you lived in that world before it existed, and now we've come full circle, and we may be back to a new 5 food groups. I'm not going to say what they are, but so let's go back to New York. You went up and you cooked for the New York Food and Wine.
Wine and Food Festival, yeah.
Wine and food. I'm dyslexic, right? And what did you make? Who did you make? Who do you serve? What's that about? From a chef standpoint, what's that like?
So last year, so first of all, because I do all the festivals and stuff like that, because I've done Austin City Limits and Lollapalooza, like backstage catering for all that stuff. And I used to do an event in Highlands, North Carolina, and I connected with a chef there who owns an amazing, I would say, more than top 3 restaurants in Charleston. And we became fast friends. And when it was time for him to go up to New York City Food and Wine, he contacted me. He has such a small kitchen that if he took all his chefs to go do this event, which is really great promotion for them because a lot of people from New York end up in Charleston on vacation. So it's really great promotions for them. If they had, if he had taken his whole kitchen, he would have had to shut down for the weekend, and that's lost revenue. So he contacted me and he was like, hey, I know we work well together because you helped me at that event. Is there any way that you can do New York City Food and Wine? And I was like, fuck yes, I can. Oh, drag me back to the big city. It'll be fine. So we did it last year. We did the grand tasting, which was an absolute abject disaster because there were supposed to be 38 restaurants and 45 or 48 liquor and wine distributors. All the liquor and wine distributors showed up. 6 restaurants showed up.
Don't you love when that happens?
We got slaughtered. And there was 3,000 people there. So basically it just looked like drunken D-Day. Like it was a mess. It was so bad. So we decided not to do the grand tasting this year. Instead, we did the Southern Brunch that was hosted by Jeffrey Zakarian, I think is his name. I don't watch any of those shows. But he was there. And
he has an office here in Tampa.
Sure, whatever. Uh-huh.
We'll talk Saturday.
Cool for him. Yeah, he actually came into the WCK kitchen a couple of days before we left Tampa and was walking around taking photos with people. And I was like, who is that guy? He's wearing clothes that are too clean to be in a kitchen. Like, tell him to leave. It's going to get messy in here.
Tell us how you really feel. I like you.
It was a mess. So, yeah, we did the Southern Brunch. We did a potato dish. It was a roasted potato that was on top of a charcoal and almond puree,
Nice.
activated charcoal and almond puree with dehydrated olives that were almost like the texture of bacon bits. It was, and then we had a sauce on top of that and a little bit of buttermilk powder. And it was, people kept coming back for it. People kept coming back. But the Southern brunch that we did was also a disaster because we were at the Standard Hotel and they did not set up a power grid that would work for all of the heating elements that all 6 of us chefs in the room could.
Sounds like the school district.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so cool. It's my favorite. So yeah, a couple of the chefs had to ditch their dishes because they just couldn't maintain, but we had a potato dish, so we were able to make it work. We almost turned it into potato salad halfway through the event, but we made it happen.
Hey, you mentioned activated charcoal. I don't know if you saw the video that ran. Did you see the Voodoo Bun by Eurobake?
Yeah.
It's an activated charcoal chili cheddar bun.
Ooh.
And, yeah, it's super yummy. They actually created it for Voodoo Bash, one of our fundraising events, and it might be hitting the market real soon. So that's super cool. I keep getting all the samples, and we keep playing with them and just having fun. And it's actually being highlighted at a corporate event tomorrow for a big company that may or may not be located here in Tampa. We'll see.
Excellent.
We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed that everybody at that event loves it. So you did New York Food and Wine, and that's a great event. Now let's go all the way back.
Oh boy.
Because I say all the time, not that I watch it.
All the way back to me skipping classes at HCC to go do concerts at the amphitheater. Is that?
No, past that, because you were working those. Pat, I want to go to the reality show because, I watch a. People don't believe how much TV I watch, but if you've ever seen the movie The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey, I still get royalty checks from that because I feel like that movie's about me because I watch a lot of TV.
But did they serve Coke in medieval times?
My screen did not lock up.
So how did I know that was going to happen?
Patrick heard the door open.
It's like as soon as you froze and stared, it's like one of two things is going on here.
My mini-me walked in the room.
So that's diabetes in a box. I love it.
Absolutely. And oh shit.
Diabetes delivery. I didn't know DoorDash did that.
And what's funny is my kid will be like, hey, Pop, you want a cookie? And it's all because she wants me to stop watching TV and shows like yours. Look at this thing. Because if I eat this cookie, I'll be asleep in like 10 minutes. So what I'm really alluding to is we have 10 minutes left in the podcast. So I watch a lot of TV, a lot of reality TV. It's my vice. It's what I do. And your show was not one that I really watched because I didn't really realize that it was about hospitality. I thought it was more going to be about relationships and things like that. And that's not what I do. I love the social aspect of everything. But when you can tie in that hospitality, I really enjoy it. So you told me about your show and you told me about George and how he recommended you. And, I decided, what? I'm just going to check this out. And I put it on him. I was like, what are you watching? I'm watching Below Deck. And she goes, really? That garbage? And I'm like, no. Season 1. So I don't know anything about the other seasons. That was a made up story. So I put it on and I realized real quick that it was about hospitality. And when you and I spoke, you're like, I'm a chef. I went to culinary school. And all of a sudden you're like, I don't know the terminology. A steward? Is that what it was? Head steward?
Chief stewardess.
chief stewardess is. I won't go into that. Do you know
Head
that?
bitch. Yeah.
Just so you know, if you look me up and you look up my pronouns, I identify as the invisible man. So they are who and where.
Just so you're aware, I saw your shirt when you were doing the intro. Yes, chef. I love that. I'll take one. But I have an apron that I just got that says my pronouns are chef and chef self. So, you know.
Mine are.
I wore it at New York City Food and Wine, and I really thought I was going to piss somebody off, and nobody said a word. I was mildly disappointed.
Well, I piss off a lot of people, and it's just because, I don't care. My boy Hollywood says it all the time. You do you, let me do me. And as long as you doing you doesn't interfere with me doing me, we are all fucking good. But let me do me the same way I'm going to let you do you. Just so you know, that was a chocolate cupcake cookie. Fantastic.
So you want me to be jealous, but I actually have tiramisu from dinner waiting upstairs for me. So.
I don't want you to be jealous. I just feel sad that you are. So when we talk about Below Deck, you're the chief stewardess.
I feel like we've been trying to talk about Below Deck for like an hour, but
it's only been 10 minutes. I watched the time very strictly here. So, on Below Deck, you were chief stewardess, and what I realized is as the show went on, how they portrayed it, because I know that that's what they do. You became more and more tight with the chef the longer the show went on, and now that makes sense, because that was going to be one of my questions. What connected you with the chef? What made that connection? But now I know you speak the same language. So
and I think that's what's really interesting on successive seasons of the show. You see a lot of headbutting that happens between the chief stew and the chef, because the chef is all about timing and punctuality and making sure you get the product to the table as quickly as possible so that it's in the best possible condition when it arrives for the guests. And a lot of chief stews will prioritize cocktails over that. So they'll let food sit there, perfectly good food sit there and get cold while they make, some special, dumb fucking tits on your mom cocktail. And that is less meaningful and less important than making sure the food product gets where it needs to go in a rational frame of time. And that's one thing that we always worked out very well was tell me when you're ready to send it out and I will be here and I will make sure my team is here and we will get it to the table as quickly as possible. To the point where I still have one of the cameramen from season 1 that reminds me an average of twice a year that I shoved him down a flight of stairs to get him the fuck out of my way so that I could get a plate to a table in time.
That's awesome.
He still gives me a hard time about it. I'm like, you were in my fucking way, man. I'm doing my job. You should be doing yours. Get out of my way.
Let me tell you my takeaway from that. 2 things. One, the age-old adage of who's better, front of the house, back of the house, reigns true on a yacht the same as it does in a brick and mortar. And 2, you're a back of the house person.
Yeah.
That's badass. I don't think I have any more questions about the show because it explains them all now. I mean, I had a lot. Like, I'm thinking you're front of the house all the way, but now it's all just like making sense.
Yeah, I mean, we got along really well. One, initially, I was supposed to be the chef on the show, right? Well, I was supposed to be. I helped them put together the show from the beginning. Like, we pitched the sizzle reel to Bravo, MTV, VH1. Bravo was the one that got it, obviously, but I was a part of that entire process for 3.5 years up until the point where we filmed the show. And so the intention was always for me to be the chef. When we realized that the boat that we chose was not big enough for us and the guests and the camera crew, we had to upgrade. And so we ended up with more crew, and Bravo decided that they wanted a male chef at the time. And to be honest with you, I'm grateful that happened because that was 13 years ago that we filmed the show. I cannot honestly say that I would have had the same confidence or fortitude in my food that I do now. And I'm not sure that I would have survived the social media onslaught of critics that had never even tried the dish, just saw it in passing on a TV show. But I'm astounded at the amount of criticism that the chefs get on the show for, look, it's one thing to criticize their attitude or their verbiage or their drunken antics, but criticizing their food is a difficult thing to do when all you do is see it for a couple of seconds. And I'm not sure that I would have had the self-confidence for that at the time. So I think everything happened the way that it was supposed to. And Ben was legitimately the only human that kept me sane in that entire fucked up experience, because we laughed constantly. Like, you see a little bit of that on the show, but he had me in tears like 90% of the time. And we got along really, really well. And he was probably one of the only reasons why I walked out of there without like making cement shoes and putting them on both of the girls that worked for me, because I actually Googled at one point in time how to make cement shoes, because I thought about it. Because honestly, holding their head underwater until the bubbles stopped might have gotten me in a little bit of trouble in St. Martin, and nobody wants to spend time in a Caribbean prison. So there's that.
All right. So I want to ask about the girls. So you said you worked 3 years on the brainchild of this, working on it and helping produce it, or produce the idea of it, and then selling it to Bravo. By the way, Patrick's wife was just at BravoCon this past week.
I almost went to BravoCon.
Well, you might have to get me an autographed picture for Patrick's wife.
I can handle that.
Quite possibly, yeah.
You
wouldn't be upset.
She wouldn't be upset at all, I'm sure. I mean, I saw her in a picture
will she be at Pig Jig?
She won't be. She'll be home with my son.
Okay, well, I will bring you a signed picture at Pig Jig.
That'll work. I'll be there. I'm working on getting you a shirt right now. Actually, one of those Yes Chef shirts. I'm texting the guys right now.
What size? What size?
Probably a medium.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
I have a little bit of room for the girl.
Just so you know, this is a medium.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you saw the comment that just came in. So basically, don't fuck with the chef on Saturday.
I can't see any of the comments. I don't know how to do that.
I don't either. I'm learning as we go.
Okay.
Hey, let's talk about. Hey, Dane, if you want in for trivia, text me. Let's talk about the other girls on the show. So,
do we have to?
Well, I just want to ask. I'll ask the question, and you can decide.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into, the pills, the drama, any of that stuff. But one of the other chicks was from Tampa as well. How did that happen, and how did that materialize?
Great question. Don't know. I didn't have anything to do with the casting. That was one of the things, because I still, up until about 2 weeks before we started filming, I hadn't decided whether I was going to go on the show myself or remain in the background as production and help as a logistics person. And so they wouldn't let me assist in any of the casting. I don't know how that happened. I'm grateful that we don't live anywhere near each other, therefore have never run into each other since we filmed the show or did the reunion. Because I have absolutely utterly nothing nice to say. Do what?
There's a reunion?
Yeah, we had a reunion.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Like on TV?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I missed that episode. I gotta go watch it.
It's on Peacock. I don't know if it's on
Not
demand.
that I want
know
that,
it's on
though.
Peacock.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that's where Kat
it.
finally admits that she was in fact on pills and drinking the night that she lost her mind.
I mean, who drinks these days? I mean,
nobody that I know. I certainly don't.
So, I really did enjoy the show. I loved the amount of hospitality that was shown and delivered and discussed and talked about. I thought that was super cool. For some reason, by the commercials, I don't think the following seasons were anything like that. I don't know. I haven't watched them, and I don't plan to because you're not on them.
Oh, well, thank you.
But I want to ask, and I asked this of people. I had a student who was on Guys Grocery Games, and I know people who are on other shows. How much of it is scripted? And I don't mean word for word. I mean, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're off. We're going to go to the bar. You guys are going to go swimming in the water and drink a beer, and we're going to catch you. How much of that's scripted? How much isn't?
So I would have to tell you that season 1 is different from everything I know about the seasons after, because I'm friends with a lot of the people that are on other seasons.
Right.
Not mine. And there's a lot more production involvement. The people who produced our show, 51 Minds, also did Rock of Love and Flavor of Love and some other MTV shows. They're used to a certain format, and ours was so vastly different from that they really didn't even have time to catch up. So they turned on the cameras and basically just ran after us. They never told us what to say or what to do. Everything that happened by the choices of the people who were involved, not production. Where I will tell you that they did some manipulation was when we had our nights off, because they wouldn't let us stay back on the boat and just sleep if we were tired. They made us go out. We were contractually obligated to go out together. And they reminded us of that every single time.
And they reminded you because that's footage.
Correct. And what they would do is that they would, when we got to the restaurants that they chose, they would tell the wait staff to withhold our food for a couple of hours and just pummel us with free drinks until everybody got so sloshed they could barely eat.
No.
I know you're shocked. Yeah, it was a mess. And that was the way that it was. The other thing that I found out after we filmed is when we did our one-on-one interviews, which we would do every couple days in between charters, we would do those one-on-one interviews. And then at the end, once we were done filming, they would fly us out to LA to give them more concise sound bites about certain things once they put together a storyline. What they would do when we were getting our hair and makeup done right before we went into those interviews is they would be like, oh, well, you're not going to believe what I heard Kat say about you when she was in here a few minutes ago, that kind of shit, to throw you off right before you walk. And these are the people that you are supposed to be trusting, right? I don't watch a lot of reality TV, and I most definitely didn't watch a lot of it then. So I didn't know a lot. I never watched The Housewives. I just didn't know a lot about how the manipulation of those things worked. And so I just didn't catch on very quickly to that. And I would call that, I guess, part naivete, part just not my lived experience at the time. You know what I mean? To know that.
I got you.
But they threw us into those interviews after they had already kind of fucked with us a little bit to say things that they knew would get under your skin. And then you walk in there because you think you're pretty calm and collected after having a little bit of rest. And then you're just that fucking bitch. You couldn't believe that somebody would say those nasty things about you. And then I had a conversation. So I actually, again, because I'm an emotional sadomasochist and I like to torture myself, I hired Kat to work for me on a boat that I was running that was going up to the Northeast. I was running a 150-foot boat. And as the chef,
no pity for self-inflicted pain.
Yeah. So I hired her to work with me because after she filmed season 2, no one would hire her in the industry. And I'm fairly certain that I was her last resort to stay in the industry. And I said, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And we had an amazing summer. We had a great time. We went all the way up the Eastern Seaboard. We went to Newport, Rhode Island, where she's from. I met her parents. I stayed at their house. We had a great summer, and then it ended abruptly right before Labor Day. We got into a fight about select-a-size paper towels, and she walked off the boat and didn't come back.
Paper towels.
It was the most ridiculous thing ever, and I haven't spoken to her
That
since.
is the most culinary thing ever.
Yeah. She was wasting my paper towels.
So I watch a lot of TV. I don't watch Housewives.
Yeah.
When we talk about, no, I really don't. I've never seen a single episode.
I wouldn't
Not yet.
say you're the target demographic for it, Eric.
Patrick's wife has seen it, and that means
I was gonna say, I mean,
Patrick
like,
has
you and
seen
my wife have to be in common here if you start watching it.
no. She needs to get caught up on the challenge. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm sure she'll be working on that soon.
So I've got 2 former students who work on editing for Survivor. So they went to film school at FSU and they work on editing for Survivor. So, I hope that Gen Pop out there understands that what we see is what the production company and the editors and what they want to portray, and they put that out there.
Correct. It everything happened. It might not have happened in that order, and you might not be getting the full context of what it was, if that makes sense. So all of those things really happened. It's just maybe in a different order than you see it, and maybe with completely different context is all.
I hate 2 things right now, just so you know. One is this fucking crumble cookie because it's so good I keep eating it, but I hate being sticky. And 2 is Sean Fleener for saying no judgment zone. And it's funny, you mentioned Rock of Love and these other shows. As much as I'm a Bret Michaels fan, never seen it. I couldn't pick Flava Flav out of a lineup unless he had the clock on. But
I would say if you choose, or if you decide that you need less brain cells than you currently possess, have at it. I would like to retain mine.
I'd like
I think
to say
commercials are the extent to which I can stomach it, to be honest.
I need a break. Pig jig, 22nd. We're going to be eating barbecue all day and all for a great cause. Make sure you come out. Make sure you come over to the judges tent and check us out. It's going to be a great day.
Yep.
So, Chef, walking out of here, you have lived an amazing life. When we met, you told me you were a pirate. I invited you on the podcast, and I said we cuss, and you're like, I'm a pirate.
I was like, I'm a chef and I'm a sailor. You think
Same
cussing
thing.
is going to offend me? Seriously.
Same thing. I just want to know what the kitchen is really like on that boat. I don't know. I'm a big guy. I had the opportunity. Not going to happen.
Well, I'm not even saying that the kitchen
Chef,
is going to be a problem.
Arch,
I'm
don't
saying
laugh.
that the coffin-like bunks that we sleep in is the bigger problem. Like, my husband is 6'5", so he could never be a yachty because he can't fit in those dumb damn little bunks that we sleep in. Like, I have for the last 16 years of my yachting career slept in somewhat of the fetal position because I'm 5'9", and some of those bunks aren't big enough for me.
Really?
So I feel like the sleeping accommodations would be more of a challenge for you than the kitchen.
Something that took me by surprise. Why the fuck does the captain get that big ass fucking room?
So that we don't have to see him.
Is that real?
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Drive the boat, motherfucker.
Yeah. Do you think that any of the crazy, raunchy, ridiculous shit that happens down in the crew area would ever happen if the captain was like on the other side of a plyboard wall? Like, never happen. It would never happen.
I got to tell you, he had a pretty nice ass little suite up there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who owns a boat?
That boat in particular, I never met the owner of that boat.
Well, in general.
Oh, Republicans. Sorry,
All
is
right.
that out loud?
So we've got some rules on the podcast. I must tell you about.
I didn't get that memo. Sorry.
Sean, you asked what flavor that cookie was. It was the raspberry something, and it was fucking good. The only rules we have on the podcast have nothing to do with Republicans or Democrats or any politics. Again, you do you. That's all we care about. I have very few rules on the podcast, and so few people I even have to warn them about. That was actually really funny. So on a serious note, because it was a question of mine, the boat is obviously owned by some rich motherfucker.
Right.
And then they put it out to a company who leases it out, or do they lease it out themselves?
So there's a charter brokerage company that is the mediator between the guests that come on the boat. So in this case, it's a little bit different than a normal charter because
TV.
Bravo chartered the boat for 6.5, well, in total 8 weeks, because they needed 2 weeks to set the boat up with all the surveillance and everything, and then another week to break it down afterwards.
I like how you called it surveillance, not cameras.
Right.
So does the captain work for the owner or for the brokerage?
So season 1 is the only and Sailing Yacht, which if you're going to watch any other season of Below Deck, so now we're on my season was season 1, obviously. We're now on season 23 in total with all the franchises. We have Below Deck, which is the one I was on, Below Deck Mediterranean, Below Deck Sailing Yacht, Below Deck Down Under, and Below Deck Adventure Series, which premieres November 1st. And if you want to get into something, I highly recommend Adventure Series because Captain Carrie is a very good friend of mine, and I'm really excited about this. It's going to be really different because they're in Norway. They're doing like hella skiing and all kinds of crazy awesome shit. It's not like
that sounds
my
pretty
life
cool.
with a beach party and that dumb damn slide. It's really cool stuff. So
that actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. But if you're going to watch any other season that's already aired, Sailing Yacht Season 2 is hands down my favorite. It is the perfect mix of awesome scenery, little bit of sailing, crew drama, the real life drama that came out of that. As the show was unfolding, the real life drama with the crew was also happening in social media. And the entire, like every week, you're just like, it was crazy. It was great. So if you're going to watch any other season, Sailing Yacht Season 2 is chef's kiss. It's great.
I would like to throw something out there, if I may.
Sure.
If you have all the contacts that you have, Patrick, I hope I can speak on our behalf.
Of course.
And just for the record, I've said this on the podcast. I hate that I like you. I mean that with all the love. So if there's ever a cruise that Patrick and I can be part of, I would be very happy. I'll broker the deal. We can go through you. But we're very interested in a season of Below Deck. And I have it all right here in my head.
Okay.
So it's called Below Deck Jungle Cruise. It takes place at Disney World, and Patrick and I are over at the Contemporary, and we'll cook for anybody as they get off the Jungle Cruise. We'll give them their little bag lunch sandwich so they can enjoy it as they go through the rest of the park. And we'll even bring in Euro Bacon. We'll put it on the activated charcoal chili cheddar bun.
Why don't you just deliver it to them on the bumper boats?
No. It's got to be the cruise. I want the captain on the boat.
Okay.
I want to be able to have that interaction with the captain. I don't think the captain quarters are going to quite be the same as your season, but we'll call it Below Deck Jungle Cruise. And you know what? We could even put them up in the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. What do you think?
I mean, I see this working. I'll have to pitch it. We'll see how it goes. I have some people that I could talk to about this.
I definitely need that big room, like you were saying. I can't have, and I'd be happy to use my Disney Vacation Club points. Not that I have those, but I definitely need that big room.
Heard stuff.
I don't know how you slept in that little bed. I don't know how you dealt with all those personalities. But as I'm saying all this out loud, as I'm saying it all out loud, that is our industry. Whether you're on a boat or you're in a restaurant or you're in a food truck, that's our industry. And that's what makes it amazing, is getting to meet all these different people, learning how to deal with these personalities. And that's how we get out there and we're able to just kind of be chameleons. We can jump into almost any arena and just deal with any type of people. And people look at you and go, how the fuck could you deal with that guy? And you're like, because I'm a chef, motherfucker.
Well, I think that's it, right? One of the things that I like about what I'm doing now and getting to do the festivals and like work, because on a yacht, you're an island as a chef. Like, you are your own department. You have to rely on the stewardesses or stewards or stew people or whatever the fuck they call them now. You have to rely on them to get your food. Do what?
Front of the house.
Sure. Okay. We'll go with that. Non-gendered. You have to rely on them to get the food to where it needs to go, but everything else is you. I don't have an ordering department. I don't have a receiving department. I have nothing but me. And being able to do things like this is so much more fun for me because I get to bounce ideas off of people. I get to play around a little bit. We all kind of collaborate to be able to do things. And that's really pretty special, despite the fact that everybody comes from different places, because our staff here right now at World Central Kitchen is as diverse as it gets. We've got a guy from France. We've got a guy that they picked up in St. Lucia when they had a natural disaster there. They have a guy that they picked up in Australia when they had a natural disaster there. Like, everywhere they go, they collect people that are passionate about what we're doing and bring them along to the next activation. And it's really friggin' cool. And one of the things that I think conditions you to be able to be in a cooperative environment like that is being in a place where you understand inherently that there are other things that you can gain from the people around you, instead of thinking that you're the one that knows everything and just has to tell everybody what to do. And that's a little bit different than what yachting is. But I think that background, because I started that way when I was doing tour catering and then transitioned to yachting, that I had that mentality already, despite the fact that all the rest of those people on that boat were not in the kitchen with me. I think it's just a mentality of, we've got to accomplish this as a team, right? And so I didn't go to a restaurant to work where there was a hierarchy, where I had somebody that was like screaming at me constantly and throwing béarnaise in my face. Like, I didn't do that. So I didn't grow up that way. I think that's probably why my personality is not driven that way, if that makes sense. Like, I've always worked in fairly cooperative environments, or supposedly cooperative environments. No.
But you know what? I love everything you're saying, and I sit over here and I just act like me. But you know what you're saying is exactly true. If you were to sit in one of my classes and hear me talk, you know, I remember 16 years old working in the back of the house at a restaurant where the guy who spoke to me most was somebody who left Iran and came to our country for a better life. And he spoke very little English. And I mean, the biggest thing, the most of our conversation would be, "Come, fat boy, we smoke." And you know, at the time, I wasn't a smoker, but I'd go stand over there and take my smoke break like everybody else. And I'd sit there and do my best to communicate with this gentleman who was an amazing server. And just hang out. His name was Saeed. And I still remember that to this day, just because, you know, I tried to learn as much as I could from him. And then, you know, we had a lot of people who came over from Vietnam when you know, they left Vietnam in masses. And I met a lot of beautiful people from that country. And it was just amazing to sit there and learn from them and learn about their culture as much as we could because of the language differences. And then it would just go on, you know, with the people from, I'm not even going to try to say the country because I say it wrong, who came over from Africa, and we talked to them about their challenges and just learning about these different people and learning how our worlds may be different where we're brought up. But as far as people, we're all exactly the fucking same. And
I think what's interesting, and exactly along the lines of what you're saying, is that every person that is involved in humanity has two languages that we all understand: pain and joy. And one of the most universal languages that we have in joy is food, because it requires no translation. It is what it is. The flavors are what they are, and you get it or you don't. And I think one of the very cool things about what we do in hospitality is that food is that universal language that binds all of us. We all understand the pain. We all understand working long hours or having to migrate from someplace where you're a refugee. Like, none of that matters when the food is good and everybody's in it. And I think that's what I'm learning through all of this. As much traveling as I've done and as much working in kitchens with people from all over the planet, is like those two things, that pain and that joy and that food that can bring us together, that is all universal. Everybody understands that. There's no translation issues. Everybody gets it.
100%. Whether it's, like you were saying, the young lady who is eating that meatball, whether it's that hot meal that's warming her up, or the nostalgia of something she may have eaten prior to being in the situation she's in, it's that food that just locks it in and brings it home and makes us all realize that we can be connected. Yeah. And when we talk about breaking bread and sharing food, there's no better cohesive thing that can bring us all together than that. And I truly loved you on Below Deck, and I love even more that you're down there giving back, feeding 20,000 hot meals with World Kitchen every day. And again, if you want to contribute to that, scroll up in the chat line and make sure you log in and share that. Chef Adrienne, and just so you know, I do mean that with the utmost respect, because this is the first time I've said Chef Adrienne. Much love for everything you're doing.
Oh, I'm happy to be here doing it.
Oh, you say that now, because now we get to the shit talking.
Awesome.
Now we get to the shit talking, because in true fashion, it is time for a little what we call voodoo games. You may have heard.
I forgot to bring my shit shovel in here. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I hope you do win. But I even made a new overlay for Patrick here for voodoo games. And we've even invited friends. Let's welcome Chef Dane into the room. Chef, what's going on? Chef, before we start, take your phone and just twist it. Look at that. Now we get to see the great, you fill in the whole street. Chef, how are you doing tonight over there in Orlando area? Oh, not too good, because you're on mute. We'll get there, Chef. It's all good. Man. He let his hair down this week. I don't know if you noticed that, Patrick.
They look a little different. It's like, who the fuck is this?
Exactly.
His hair is almost as long as mine.
Last week, he was all cleaned up. He's like, this guy says fuck too much. I'm letting my hair down.
Dane, your hair's almost as long as mine.
We got boys now, Dane?
Nope.
Nope. You're still on mute.
Still mute, yep.
Wait. I'm going to see if I can unmute you. I cannot. There you go. You're on now.
Can you hear me now?
How you doing, Chef?
Good, yourself?
I'm living the dream, man. I am living the dream. I'm sitting here in VooDoo Studios, enjoying a cocktail. My mini-me, one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, brought me some cookies. It's a great day.
Oh, you got that crumble now.
Now, dude, it's gone. That's every week, dude. Every week we get the crumble.
It's the crumble crack, is what it is.
You should tune in on the first Monday of every month when we do Shay Sweets on here, and I get my macarons on, because oh my god, I love macarons.
I've seen those macaroons are fantastic.
Shay, I know you're watching right now. Make sure you bring some macarons to Pig Jig. And wait, don't raise your hands like I'm going to share.
Whoa. We just had this really heartwarming conversation about community and everybody coming together, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Fuck no, my macaroons."
Nope, I share with everybody. And
let the shit talking begin.
Well, let's start with Dahlia, because you're still in the room. You're still watching the podcast. I did send you a text, and sent you an invite to join in trivia, and I haven't seen you pop in the green room. We'll give you about 3 minutes as I go through the explanation of trivia, because Chef, you're new to the group here. So the way we play trivia here is we created an amazing category for you this week. I can't help you right now, Dahlia, but I see that you're saying you're trying. Sure. We have an amazing category this week, and we'll get to that in a minute. So the way we play trivia here is real simple. Chef Patrick has all the questions. Nobody's been privy to them. Against what Sam Creighton thinks. He thinks I get to see the questions in advance. And it's real simple. He will read a question. If you think you know the answer to the question, Chef, you played before, I think, right?
Yes.
All you need to do is shout out your name. Whomever Patrick hears first, he will call upon them, and they will have the opportunity to answer the question. If you answer right, you get 1 point. There are no penalties for incorrect answers. If you get it right, you get the point. If you get it wrong, everyone else will be able to, again, shout out their name and try to get the correct
I thought
answer.
you were going to say pelt us with macaroons at Pig Jig, but sure, whatever.
Oh, no. Macaroons will be held sacred. And Chef, so you know, the winner of tonight's VooDoo Games may have the opportunity to have their name entered into a drawing where they may be selected to have a chance to win a prize that will be named at a later date. So good luck. Tonight.
That's the most ambiguous present I've ever, or like prize I've ever heard of.
Well, I'm just saying, it's amazing.
It could be something that you
might
want.
Just think about what it could be and how amazing it might be if you get to have your name entered into that drawing where you could be selected as. I mean, oh my God, the possibilities are endless.
Clearly, I want it. Okay, let's
right? Who doesn't? I'm getting blown up with texts right now. Can I enter? Can I enter? No. Chef, all the real. Before we leave and exit tonight, I want to thank you for coming in. I want to thank you for making an impact on the community, not just here in Tampa Bay, not just down south, all over, up in New York, everywhere you touch. Thank you for sharing the love of food and sharing it with everybody. And now, prepare to get your ass kicked in Yacht Rock Trivia.
Woo!
Hey, Patrick, can you give us a little background on the years so I can, and give me a pause so I can try to go back, because I suck with dates.
So for tonight, we only have 5 questions.
Yeah.
So
that's how shitty Yacht Rock is. He can only find 5 questions.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I did struggle trying to find these questions when we were talking about this. It's like Yacht Rock. What the hell?
First
is that?
answer: Hall and Oates. Continue.
You didn't shout your name, and that might count against you. Oh, Patrick, give us what is Yacht Rock? Do you know? Did you define it? Oh!
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
There we go. All right.
My friend Dahlia. Chef, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Chef Dahlia Johnson checking in. I still want to say Cosme every time, but you got married. Much love. Big shout out to my boy Dave. Get ready for a little Yacht Rock here, Dahlia. I know you know the spiel. Remember, shout out your own name if you think you know the answer to the question. All right, Patrick. Gin and tonic. Dane, what are you drinking? Wait. Clear. Was it tequila or vodka?
Tequila.
Okay, we need to get you on 813 or 512 like that quick.
I'll
That happened this weekend. I will personally walk you over to the tent and introduce you to my friend who's going to let you taste some of the best tequila you ever had. You just remind me.
Yes, Chef.
Right, Patrick, I turn it over to you.
All right. So Yacht Rock Trivia. So when I first heard about this topic, I was like, wait, is that like yachts like on a boat? Is that music? Like what the fuck is that? I've never heard of it before. So it's essentially, from what I looked up at least, was commercially successful genres from the mid-1970s to the mid-1980s. So it's a wide variety here. I found about 5 questions. So I figured we'll have some fun with this tonight here. So essentially the way it works, the first person that shouts out their name, or the first person that I hear, I should say, I will call on you, and then you will be able to say what you think the correct answer is. And if you're right, you get 1 point. If you're not right, we try to move on to the next person.
iPad has.
Good?
I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
I may or may not have been looking up a Wicked video.
Fair enough. All right. So our first question of the night: which yacht rock artist took 2 years to record an album that was the most expensive record ever made at the time in 1980?
VooDoo.
VooDoo.
I'm gonna guess Steely Dan.
Fuck you. That is correct.
Oh shit! Here he goes.
And like I said, he did not have these answers ahead of time. Did not have the questions. I created these questions around 6 o'clock tonight, watching the baseball game. So,
Hey, baseball.
All right. Question number 2: which of these artists is not considered?
Time out. Does that mean you're gonna give us multiple guess?
I am.
Okay.
Okay.
I am. Yep. Which of these artists is not considered a yacht rocker? Is it Robbie Dupree, Boz Scaggs, or Jackson Brown?
VooDoo.
Delia.
VooDoo.
Boz Scaggs.
That is not correct. Delia.
Delia. Dupree.
Not correct.
Dane.
Dane.
Jackson Brown.
There we go.
Process of elimination.
Brown, he's California rock. Dane, just so you know, your signal's kind of weak. If you happen to fall off the podcast, I don't know what happened.
All right, question number 3. Who was the inspiration for Toto's Rosanna?
VooDoo.
VooDoo.
Rosanna Arquette.
That is not correct.
Bullshit, it's not.
I'm
Dane.
telling you what the internet said. Dane.
Patricia Arquette.
Not correct.
Dave
I have
Arquette.
no idea. I thought this was going to be like, we're going to play a song, tell me who it is, tell me the name of it. I would have been all over that because I listen to that shit all day long at work. But
VooDoo.
VooDoo.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Not correct.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, it's definitely not correct. He's nobody's inspiration.
So the correct answer, according to 2 different websites that I looked up, they were saying that it might be just some high school girlfriends, some friends of theirs, nobody in particular. It's just random people.
Yeah, great answer there, Chef.
Hey, I'm telling you,
So then anybody was right.
it should have been a multiple fucking choice, just to be clear.
Who did they base the Mona Lisa on? Some rando bitch. You win.
So believe it or not, one of the websites actually said Rosanna Arquette. Somebody else said the band Studio Dog, and then the last choice was no one in particular.
So then maybe
Correct
Chef should
answer
get that
apparently
one.
was no one in particular. It might have been a high school girlfriend.
Counting that as a win. Okay, go ahead.
All right, it's all right. Question 4, 2 more to go. In which yacht rock classic from 1980 does the singer long to make it to the border of Mexico? Excuse me.
Can you say it again? Because you started.
Absolutely. In which yacht rock classic from 1980 does the singer long to make it to the border of Mexico?
Dane.
Fuck you, Dane.
The Eagles.
No.
Do you know the name of the song? That's kind of what we're looking for.
Hotel California.
No.
Not correct.
VooDoo.
VooDoo.
I'd like to win.
That is correct.
Because I ride like the wind. Ride like the wind.
That is correct. All right. And for our final.
Such a long way to go to make it to the border of Mexico. Was it really the Eagles?
Just a second. They have the maintenance crew coming through to clean everything, and I can hear them, and it's about to get real loud with the hallway sweeper.
Oh, I
Let me
can't
just
wait.
Head them off. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, all right. We're going to talk some smack for a minute. Dahlia, tell us about Dee's Village Catering while Adrienne has stepped out.
Well, Dee's Village Catering, it's Dee's Village at Facebook.com.
Wait. What?
D's Village at Facebook.
Spell it. D's.
DS apostrophe S Village at Facebook.com. I'm also on Instagram, which is DS_Village_
Patrick, I need
catering.
I'm trying to type it. There's too many underscores and apostrophes.
That's fine.
Google D's Village Catering. We had some empanadas tonight. Oh my god! We had the chicken. We had the beef. Off the chart. Make sure you get them. Cannot go wrong with my girl D from D's Village Catering. They're a rock star. And definitely part of the VooDoo family. So everybody that wants to meet Delia, make sure you stop by the judges' tent this week. We will see you there. Patrick, can we get a score update? Can we get a question?
Do we have to?
Where we're at?
So, score update with the last question. 2 points VooDoo, 1 point Dane. So while we were just waiting there, I did find a tiebreaker question just in case.
Well, Dane, you keep coming in and out. I don't know what's going on. You keep coming in and out of the stream.
What the?
I don't know. Your signal's getting kind of weak there, buddy.
Wow.
I don't know what to do.
Everybody out there in the Orlando area, just so you know, Dane is going to be with me on the Kitchen Killers on November 11th. So make sure you turn into Kitchen Killers on Facebook. That is AZ Killers, not ERS. Kitchen Killers on Facebook. We will be on November 11th, 9:05 live. I'll be cooking. Dane will be cooking. I'll be playing a little rock and roll with Billy. Make sure you log that in. Check that out. All right, Chef. Did you Google a next question? Something like, who's Rosanna Arquette? And the answer is maybe or maybe not the inspiration for Rosanna by Toto.
On that note, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
Hey, did I tell you the program in Ebor's closing?
Yeah, appreciate that.
Go ahead, man.
All right. Question number 5. The Doobie Brothers were among the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2020 inductees. Which of the following acts joined them in that honor?
Fuck, never mind.
I'm going to give you 3 options. Was it REM? Was it the Notorious B.I.G. or the J. Giles Band?
And it's G. Giles Band. The G. Giles Band. They sang Freeze Frame and Centerfold. And I'm going to say, can you tell me the year again?
2020.
That was 22 years ago.
Adrienne. Notorious B.I.G.
That is correct. That is it right there. There we
You
go.
started guessing without saying your name, Chef. So
You really did.
No. I'm glad you got that. You go ahead. You take that. Patrick, I believe that was the last question.
That was the last question. So final results.
What are the scores?
2 points VooDoo, 1 point Adrienne, 1 point Dane. And Delia, thank you for playing.
That means tonight the VooDoo Chef will have his name entered into will have the opportunity to have his name entered into a drawing where he may be selected to have the chance to win a prize that may or may not be named at a later date. And Chef Adrienne, I will tell you right now that if for some reason my name goes into that drawing and for some reason I get selected and for some reason there may or may not be a prize attached to that, I would gladly give it to you for all of your work in the community. Nothing but absolute love. Delia, Dane, thanks for coming in. Patrick, as always, thanks for pimping it out. Guys, till next time on the VooDoo Chef podcast.
Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,